Hello! Welcome back to this character's continuous and increasingly unlikely survival. Well, we were told that after we defeated the beast, a portal to Oriath became available. Let's go visit home, huh? I guess I'll have to wait a little bit. The locals of Wraeclast are the way they usually are. Oh, Goatman, I remember you. I hated you. I still do, in fact. I just got crit by an ice spear. Yeah, I knew you wouldn't stay in one place. No, I'm not teleporting up there. Oh, well that's interesting. Are you trapped? Well, probably you can escape anyway. It's possible that... Oh, okay, I got it anyway. Sometimes I wonder if those things are a little bit too evasive. Oh, and I did a little bit of digging and found some new boots. Hooray! So, remember how we talked about the way every human being killed rises up as a zombie later? Well, we've already observed it, but that's definitely happening to the blackguards and some other things that I would probably be better off not knowing about. I've been thinking about removing my mana flask for most occasions, because really my mana problems tend to take care of themselves at this point. Oh, that looks dangerous. On the other hand, them bunching up like that is good for me. Oh, bloodlines, huh? Scary. Now that I think about it, there are not too many ice-themed places in this game. I guess they figured they had to fit one in somewhere. Woohoo.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Maybe teleporting into unfamiliar territory is not the best idea. I read a few of the reasons that the game was restructured in such a drastic way, from 3 difficulties to 10 acts. And I'll talk more about that after we take a look at these instructions.
Captain Tavares, altitude is imperative to forging a stable connection with the Prime Resonator in Theopolis. Power source is equally vital. Locate a fissure in the mountainside and lower a conductive cable into it. The deeper, the better. It will take an immense amount of thaumaturgical energy to execute the successful disintegration and transmission of objects, both inanimate and animate, between Highgate and Theopolis. For that kind of power, we must tap the origin. I needn't remind you of the consequences, should either of those elements prove deficient. That is why I would like you, Tavares, to be the first to test the resonator once it is operational. Accountability is a perfect counterweight to ambition. High Templar Dominus.
Now, when he says the power source, he's talking about the beast, of course. And since we just killed it, this is probably not going to stay working for very long. Well, we've ended up in a wonderful place. Probably not the location of the Prime Resonator. Don't see anything like that. Well, we have a way out, but the inhabitants probably don't. Truth Extractor. What a wonderful name. So, if you're a lore sort of person, you might have been wondering. Oriath is the place where lovely individuals like Piety and Dominus and the Blackguards and others came from. But how bad is it really? Well, that's kind of the purpose of this entire act. And the name of the expansion is The Fall of Oriath, so we can probably guess how that's gonna go. But, as usual, it's the details that are the most interesting part. My, but this was apparently a very active and busy piece of business, wasn't it? So, I'm fairly good at remembering to use most of my abilities right now. The next thing that I need to remember, because, well, I keep forgetting, is to use my Onslaught Flask at places that could prove tricky. So my energy shield is now by far the greater part of my ability to not die. Therefore, if I run out, that is time for extreme panic. Well, that enemy's fast attacks probably didn't do him any good there. So, in previous acts, reaching the first, I hesitate to call it town, but the first place where you can rest, buy things, and talk to NPCs, was usually a very short affair. Doesn't seem that way for this act. Although the starting point for this act is even more hostile than most, it would seem. Ooh, I gotta be careful. Those green flames are never good news. There we go. Right now I'm just looking for very good links. I can deal with the other details later. In fact, I'd say that a white piece of gear with good links is easier for me to handle than a blue piece. There are more things I can do with it. Well, that block rate is definitely helping out. Oh, I know what that spell is. It's one of the spells I kind of passed up on. Well, Mr. Overseer Crow. Not that I doubt your ability, but it's really tough to beat me in a lightning duel. Oh, someone lowered a ladder. Hooray!
Ha! After everything I've done, it took an Oriathan to get these slaves up off their shackled asses and fighting. I guess the Templar should have treated their lessers better than their slaves, eh? Well, I'm not about to turn down a gift from Kitava. If he wants slave and outcast to join hands, then let's remind these Templar that they're flesh and blood, just like us. Utulamakora is what they call me. I'm what passes for a chief around here. Well, I put the steel in their hands. I tell them where to stab, where to run, where to die. If that doesn't make me a chief, what does? Eh? Blood isn't the only currency we need to earn to buy our freedom. We can kill all the Templar mongrels we like out there. It won't matter a damn if we don't get inside their stronghold, the Templar courts. Might as well put my bloody chains back on right now. Problem is, there's some sort of witchery surrounding the place. Only those who see the truth with faithful eyes are getting in there. The power of innocence. It's all in the eyes, you see. Yet blessed Kitava has answered my prayers and sent us just the pair of eyes we need. The ever-faithful Justikar Casticus. He's there in the control blocks right now, smiting my people with self-righteous fury. Find him and rip his faithful eyes out. Then I'm sure the good Justicar will be kind enough to see you into the Templar courts.
Well, that's a Path of Exile solution if ever I've seen one. Also, he says good things about Kitava, whereas no religiously inclined person in the entirety of Wraeclast has good things to say about Kitava. We'll dig a little more into this later. For now, I'm afraid I have things to do, so I'll see you next time.